What's going on, traders? Troy from the Intraday Investors, and in this video we're going to be talking about my trading week and how I came out in the red. And the biggest key takeaway I want you guys to get out of this is, what can you get out of a red day? Every trader has red days, but it's about how you handle it. Okay, so when I have a red day, this is the best day for improvement. I like to regain my focus, take a step back, and keep expanding my knowledge, because you have to turn a red day into a good day. And as you can see, my trading week for this week was not the best. My gross P&L was minus 200 and minus 210.35 after commissions. You can see Friday I had the biggest loss, which I traded Tesla short, which I'm going to be going over in this video. And it was a pretty amateur trade. I wasn't disciplined. I had a blindfold on coming in, and I had a specific bias coming into the market. And you can't have a specific bias because you always have to be adapting and evolving in this game. The market last year is a lot different than the market this year. So it's all about adaptability. Take what the market gives you and, let price action do the talking. Let the charts do the talking. Don't just come in there saying, I hope it goes up, or I hope it goes down, because hope is not a strategy. Ultimately, the key takeaway is you have to manage your risk and, don't have a specific bias coming into the market. Take what the market gives you. And as you can see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I had proper risk management. Even though I came out negative 30 Tuesday, negative 26 Wednesday, and minus 57 Thursday, they weren't bad days. I had proper risk management. I had the right idea. I traded fairly well. It's not like I traded like Friday, which it was probably one of my worst trades since I've started, and I'm going to be going over that in this video. But I had the right idea. The only differences I wish I did on Tuesday and Wednesday was the re-entry. So when the opportunity sets itself back up, don't be afraid to re-enter. I hesitated because I took a small loss, and then 1 minute later it set itself back up and I wasn't ready. I hesitated on the re-entry. So you have to cut your losses shortly, and then don't be afraid to re-enter. Monday I had a pretty good day, but as you can see, I was doing pretty well until around Thursday, Friday. Just because I lost Tuesday and Wednesday doesn't mean I traded bad. I had the right idea. Again, it was all about the re-entry. So yeah, I want to be talking about this in this video, about my trading week. I'm mainly going to focus on Tesla today because this is the one where I need the most improvement on, and I messed up the most on. And I hope you guys can get something out of this video so you guys don't repeat the same mistakes that I made. Alright, so now we're going to be going over my trade on Tesla and what I could have ultimately done differently. As you can see, it was up 17% after market hours yesterday. As you can see over here, it went from around 450 all the way to 547, highs of 547. And here's a news article it had. So Tesla reports its best ever first quarter production and delivery numbers. So quarter one, they delivered over 88,000 vehicles, and that's a pretty good number. That's a pretty strong delivery. What model was it? They delivered 12,000 Model S and X vehicles. I want to know how many trucks they sold. Manufactured. I want to know how many trucks, because the truck that came out was pretty nice. I want to know how much they sold of that. I'm gonna have to go look at that. But as you can see, we're looking at Tesla. Ultimately, coming into the markets, I was bullish on it. As you can see, I have my technical level at 547 as a resistance, and I have another pre-market level at around 530. So when the market opened, Tesla started to dip right off the get-go. Okay, it's below the EMA and the VWAP, and it's doing 1.2 million in volume. You can see the time in sales, and you can see level 2. You can see where there's buyers and sellers, and people were covering their profits. People were selling, and it wasn't too quickly where I changed my bias. I mean, that's the thing. I came in with a specific bias, going bullish, and I feel like that kind of threw me off a little bit. But I ended up taking a short position. If you can only imagine, I really did get burned. We're going to be talking about it. I don't really correlate Tesla with SPY because Tesla is really in its own lane. So yeah, you can see after market hours yesterday, it was up 17%, very strong. Went from 450 to 547. So that's almost $100. And coming into the market, I wanted to go long. But you ultimately see we're selling off right from the get-go. We're looking at it from here to here. That's 1 day. Well, actually, that's only till That's not the full day. I have it cut out right now because I just want to go over the morning. And from this dash line to here, that's pre-market and after-market hours over here. Okay, so we're looking at it, and each candle represents 5 minutes worth of trading. I never like to trade on the first 5-minute candle because, again, there's really no data to go off of. You can see that we have a support right here, and it broke the support. I had my resistance technical level at 530, that if it broke above 530, I was going to enter on the long side. But, I mean, it had a really wide range from the open all the way to this range. It was about, $10, and to this range it was a lot more than 10. It was about $25. So it had a range, it had a lot of movement before I truly felt comfortable to enter, because I wanted to enter when it broke this resistance or if it broke this resistance. But it sold off right away. People were covering their profits. And, I was like, you know what? It's broke the support on the downside. I'm not going to have a specific bias on it. I don't want to go long. Let me go short. And this is where I got burned, okay? I mean, it ended up trending down throughout the day, but the options that I chose were expiring today, Friday. So it was very volatile, and I ended up getting stopped out pretty freaking quick, and it was pretty upsetting. So as you can see, the first 5-minute candle, let me zoom in a little bit so we can go exactly over what happened. And I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes, okay? Again, let's do a little review. I was bullish on it. I was going to enter if it broke above this level or this level, but it started to sell off right away. So now I didn't want to have a specific bias, but now I'm going short. It broke my support right here, and now it's selling off. Okay, I didn't want to chase it. I mean, this candle right here went from like 515 to like 490 something. So that's a pretty big candle. I wanted to wait. I usually like to wait for the candle to close before I enter, because that's giving me more confirmation. I don't want to buy, like, say there's a minute left on the 5-minute candle before the next candle opens. I don't want to, if there's a battle going on, there's less data I can go off of. At least on the next candle, it can start selling off. So like exactly right here, see this candle right here, this wick. My idea was, okay, so once it breaks this level right here, I want to get in, because I wanted it to break the low of the first 5-minute candle. Because you can see the first 5-minute candle right here, the second, it pushed up, bounced on the VWAP a little bit, and then sold off. So I entered right here. Okay, that's the scary thing, especially with trading Tesla. I mean, the spreads were insane. I actually marketed out. I got screwed. With Apple, the spreads are smaller, so it's easier to market out when there's a situation like this. And I basically, as you can see, so I entered when it broke. So I had the right idea, really, ultimately. Maybe I held on a little bit too long, because I actually entered right here and I was up like $50, but I didn't lock in profits. I was holding on. And then the start of the first 5-minute candle, or the start of the fourth 5-minute candle, so this green candle right here, it opened red. And I seen that there's a lot of buyers holding it up. So I should have cut my losses or covered my profits right here. I'm going to make it a little bit thinner so you can see. So I held from the break of this all the way down here, and I was up. And then, but I got in before the 5-minute candle closed. So there's still a minute left on the 5-minute candle, and I entered. And then this candle opened, and it opened slightly red, and then it pulled back on me. So what I should have done was I should have waited for the candle to close before I entered, and I should have had a stop loss. I had a mental stop loss, and it started just pulling back. The buyers were just buying it. And I literally ended up marketing out probably like right here. And I was pretty upset because it was 1 minute when I lost. And even if I would have held on to it through that pullback, time decay was not doing me any good, okay? Time decay was not. So by the time it did break back right here, even if I held on to it, I would still be down money because of time decay. So because I bought contract that expires today. So either way, I can't look at it like, what if I could have held because I tend to like sometimes I'll sell an option and I'll make money or lose money, and then I'll look at it later in the day and I'm like, oh, if I would have held, I would be up this certain amount. But you can't look at it like this. You have to just enter, cut your losses if the trade goes against you, and then re-enter if the play sets itself back up. Again, what I did on Tuesday, Wednesday was good because it wasn't good. Like what I didn't do on Tuesday, Wednesday was I cut my losses shortly. I had the right idea, but I didn't re-enter. I hesitated on the re-entry, and that's why I missed out on the opportunity Tuesday and Wednesday. But I'm not trying to make this confusing. I'm just trying to say that typically wait for if you're trading on a 5-minute candle, I like to wait for the 5-minute candle to end or to begin. So you have to be very smart about that. Be careful on that, because if there's a battle going on, you can probably get in at a bad fill and then you get screwed. But you can see this candle just spike back on me and I got stopped out. Luckily, I was only holding one contract, but I lost almost 50% of that contract in about 1 minute. So that's how dangerous options could be, because I lost almost 50% in 1 minute. But on the bright side, I can also make that much in a minute. This was a pretty upsetting trade. The biggest takeaway is I can't let this loss hold over my head. So when I come out Monday, I can't let this. I have to separate today's trading day from Monday's trading day. I can't carry it over because that will affect my trading currently, my current trading. So I have to just let this one go and come out of it. Like, what could I have done differently? Well, what I could have done differently was, so A is wait for the candle to close, and B is to have a proper risk management plan. I had a mental stop loss, and I was holding it. Even if it was a couple seconds, I should have cut my losses right around here. I end up cutting my losses all the way up here because I marketed out, and I was just like, oh, come on, please just like reverse on me. Please reverse on me. And hope is not a strategy. So again, what I'm getting out of this is, having more patience. Don't have a specific bias coming into the market. Wait for the candle to close before I enter, unless there's a lot of volume and the tape is reading spot on. And don't let this affect me. The first 5 minutes after this loss, I turned off my computer, and I felt pretty upset. But you got to take the emotion out of it. And I walked away. I had to regain my focus. I didn't end up taking any more trades. I want to end off the note on that Friday, so this whole weekend I could read more about options, expand my knowledge, and then when I come in Monday, I'll be focused and ready to start a new week. I hope you guys learned something out of this and got some of these key takeaways that I'm telling you, because if you're starting options, I don't want you to make these same mistakes. Okay, don't ever rush into a trade and don't chase. And yeah, that's I pretty much summed up everything that I want to go over about my Tesla trade. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me before moving on to the next video.